back to my channel. I just got back from an epic trip to Asia, and here's a glimpse of how it went. I started my trip in Macau. I hadn't been for many years and wanted to check it out near the end of the Chinese New Year holiday season. Right when I landed, I had day 2 of the WPT Global Spring Festival 400k guaranteed and had to play mostly on my phone. I actually had a lot of chips going into the day and was playing for like 80k for first with 40 something players left. But unfortunately couldn't get much going on my mobile and things just kind of fizzled out. I was only there for a couple of days and actually didn't play poker at all besides that. I mostly just walked around and explored newer parts of the city I hadn't been to before and revisited some of my old favorite parts like Taipa Village and the Amma Temple. Most people don't realize the scale of things in Macau compared to Vegas. There are larger versions of popular hotels like the Wynn, MGM, and the Venetian, and it crushes Vegas in terms of gaming revenue because, well, a lot of Asians love to gamble and believe their luck can trump the odds. A fun story from my first time in Macau 15 years ago. I got my very first recorded Hendon Mob final table from the Macau Cup in 2010. I went with my cousin after qualifying online and she took me to the Amma Temple to seek blessings. I don't remember exactly what I wished for back then, but I'm pretty sure it had to do with poker. I think for the most part, Amma has treated me very well and I was happy to renew my wishes on a red plaque and hang it again in the centuries-old temple, just like I did when I first got started in poker. Club WPT Gold is finally now live for US players. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up for a new account, and after that you can choose between Gold Coin Poker or Sweeps Coin Poker. Both you can redeem for amazing prizes, but it's with Sweeps Coin Poker that you can also redeem for cash. I'm going to be playing a lot in my bathrobe. I love online poker. I hope you'll join me. Go make a new account at clubwptgold.com and use my bonus code XUAN. After the brief stint, I was off to Hong Kong, another city I had very fond feelings towards. Growing up in Toronto, there was a large immigrant population, but most of the Chinese were from Hong Kong. Almost all the music, movies, and entertainment I consumed while young, and before I was fluent in English, was from there, so I romanticized a lot of aspects about the city. I scheduled a couple of photo shoots while there, since I think working with a photographer is a great way to learn about the city and see it from some unique perspectives. For example, some of these cool shots were from a fruit market warehouse in the inner city. These were some of my favorite shots from the shoot. The photographer really knew how to edit these shots to make me feel like a model, but I don't mind the unedited ones either. Which ones do you like more? Hong Kong is also really well known for their established food scene, so of course it was really important for me to try out the Michelin-starred restaurant while there. Also have some hot pot, of course. I actually went to Singapore after Hong Kong, but I feel like since there aren't enough shots of chips in this vlog, let's jump ahead and say our next destination was Chengdu, China. Chengdu is known as the home of the panda bears and is also renowned for their spicy cuisine. I mean, look at this flight attendant offering each passenger some extra spice of lao gan ma with their meals. Right when we landed, I realized I hadn't been back to mainland in so long and I missed the familiarity even though I had never been this west of the country before. I was impressed by how modern things seemed at the airport. I mean, check out this layout of the washroom, showing you which stalls were occupied and where the traditional hole-in-the-floor toilets were, compared to the modern sitting toilets. As much as I really wanted to see the pandas and indulge in all the food there, I basically spent every waking hour playing a private game with a Chinese singer influencer. I did pretty well, so I didn't mind that I didn't get more time to explore the city and eat more delicious food. This one restaurant I did go to specialized in gourmet lamb, and it was probably the best hot pot I've ever had, and that's saying a lot. But I was truly quite sad I didn't get a chance to visit the pandas this trip. My schedule was just too packed, and I wanted to make it to Cambodia for the WPT main event. I played 3 sessions in Chengdu at 200, 400, 800, 1600 RMB and ended up doing pretty well, so the trip was well worth it. I went to Singapore to visit my friend Sophia, who's also a talented poker player, and her husband Mike, and maybe to check out some poker. However, the day I got there, I was invited to a home game in China, so didn't get to spend much time there at all. I definitely enjoyed the vibes there more than I expected to. It honestly reminded me of my Canadian hometown of Toronto in some ways, quite multicultural, clean, and modern. As you guys may know, regardless of the city I'm in, I try to partake in afternoon tea, the fine local cuisine. This is pre-dessert. And check out the parks and nature, which in this case was their botanical gardens. Singapore has such a fascinating history as the country only became autonomous and started developing after 1965. Before leaving, I grabbed lunch with Sophia by the waterfront near the well-recognized Marina Bay Sands and their IG-famous infinity pool. Next up is Cambodia. I spent just over 2 weeks here in 2 different cities. While I tried to schedule it, I just couldn't fit a trip to my bucket list item of Angkor Wat this trip. The country has such a rich and fascinating history, and a lot can be said about the resilience of its people. After arriving in the capital of Phnom Penh and having some very nourishing silky chicken soup, which I ordered a few times that trip, I late registered the day 1 flight of the 3500 WPT main event. I was able to double up and accumulate some chips and make day 2 on 1 entry, which meant I had the next day off. I used this opportunity to explore the city, and while honestly I had some reservations about coming here and exploring the city by myself, other than a warning to protect my phone, I didn't feel unsafe. Here I am, riding a tuk-tuk to go on a sunset cruise in the Mekong River. Here is us riding past the palace on the way back to the hotel at night. As you can see, it's an incredibly bustling and lively city. After that, I got a massage, and while I was definitely caught off guard a bit by there being a whole bed in the treatment room, the service was quite comfortable. I then went for some pizza with new local friends. Surprisingly, that pizza place was one of the best rated restaurants in the city. Next day was day 2 of the main. Breakfast is definitely one of my favorite meals of the day, and the buffet here was top tier. Unfortunately, I had a pretty short-lived day. I am here in Cambodia. Woke up for day 2 today on 20 big blinds after I maxed late regged day 1A. Played a couple of small pots and lost it all in. Couldn't get anything going, but I heard the pool here is really nice, so I'm gonna check that out. There's like a turbo bounty tonight that I'll probably play and a 5K tomorrow, so that should be fun. I took the free time I had to go explore the well-recommended National Museum. I had so many nice shots on my camera that I just can't find. You'll have to take my word that it was a delight. They had so many artifacts and stories that were the source of inspiration for the Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones series. Real-life adventures, villains, and treasure hunts. In the evening, I jumped into the 5K high roller. Ending the TD scheduled a break for us to visit the players' party. Naturally, I took a bit of a party with me when going back to the tournament. I did bag some chips for the evening, but unfortunately couldn't get much going and busted early on day 2. After that, I was convinced to visit a resort town on the west coast of Cambodia for some cash games and a new tournament series. I took a leap of faith as I had no idea what to expect, but the casino was lavish and the poker went well. This is my stack at one point and the 200-400 cash game. My favorite part of the hotel was the spacious and modern gym. It even had the nicest golf sim I've ever seen attached to it. I also had a special go-to meal while playing that consisted of tomato and egg noodles, dumplings, and fresh passion fruit juice. I think I had it just about every day. After all, it brought me pretty good luck. I came second in the 5K high roller for a 55K cash. Here's me playing with rising Vietnamese star Gemi. The day after that, I would late reg the $880 main event and come runner-up again for 60K. But I love that my final table had 2 other women in it. I was sad I wasn't able to take home a trophy, but it was still a successful trip and I was treated to some omakase to celebrate. Thank you. After just less than a month in Asia, I was starting to feel homesick, so I made my way back to Vegas. I enjoy so many things about Asia, especially the food, but there's nothing quite like waking up in my own bed.